Ladies and gentlemen, this is the sports segment on the Punch Official. It's time for us to bring you all the latest updates in the world of sports, specifically football to be precise. And so I'll be talking about some of the transfers that are still ongoing. I know I've been giving you guys an update on the major transfers across European football. We all know that the transfers are still on. Teams are still signing players ahead of the upcoming season, and so I'm here to give guys an update on some of the signings that have taken place so far in the past weeks. I will also be talking about the performance of the Black Queens in this year's Women's AFCON. So I'll give you an update on how that competition is also going about. My name is General. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to our channel for us, help us grow, and also leave your comments in the comment section, and also put out some post notifications. So let's get straight into the issues. So first of all, I'll be talking about some of the teams or the top 10 teams that have spent so much money in the ongoing summer transfer window. So most of the teams have spent so much, especially the English teams. They are really spending. So let me start off with the top 10 highest or the biggest spenders so far in the summer transfer window. So I'll start off with number 10. So we have Brighton and Hove Albion. They have so far spent about 80 million euros on the transfer market to buy players. Arsenal is on the 9th position with 87 million euros spent so far. Then we have Como. Yes, Como is in Italy. Last season, their performance was very their performance was so good, and so going into the new season with Cesc Fabregas as their coach, they want to boost their squad, and so Como have also spent about 89 million euros so far on the transfer market. We have Bayern Leverkusen in Germany, who have also spent 102 million euros. Then Sunderland, the newly promoted side in the English Premier League, they have also spent about 116 million euros in player purchases. Yes, Manchester City is on a fifth position with 131 million euros so far. And then we have Tottenham Hotspur on the fourth position with 141 million euros. They bought quite some players, including Mohamed Kudus from West Ham United, and then Morgan Gibbs-White from Nottingham Forest as well, and a few other players. Then Real Madrid of Spain have also spent about 168 million euros so far with the purchases of Dean Huijsen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Franco Mastantuano, and then all the other guys. They've spent about 168 million euros so far. Liverpool is on the second place with 214 million euros. Liverpool for almost the players, they've really bought quite a number of players. The likes of Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, they have completed a whole lot of signings. And then Chelsea is the biggest spender so far in the ongoing summer transfer window. They've spent about 244 million euros so far. But don't forget, they have also made some sales, and so their books will be balanced because they have also sold some players out. Madueke and all the other guys, Petrovic, they have all left the club, and so their books will be balanced. So these are the top 10 biggest spenders so far. Mind you that these teams are still trying to negotiate with certain players to buy them, and so these monies is subject to change. So they can change any moment from now because teams are still buying players as the summer transfer window is still on. Now, let me move on and talk about Lamine Yamal. We all know that he has taken the jersey number 10 at FC Barcelona. So going forward next season, Lamine Yamal will wear the jersey number 10, the iconic jersey number 10 as FC Barcelona. We all know that that jersey number has been worn by some of the greatest players on the planet, including Rivaldo, who wore that jersey in the 2000 up to 2002. So he wore that jersey for 2 years. Rivaldo of Brazil, yes, he wore that jersey for 2 years. And then Riquelme also wore that jersey from 2002 to 2003. Then Ronaldinho Gaucho, yes, the man who made me love football, yes, one of the best and skillful players we've ever had. Dinho also wore that jersey for 5 years. So from 2003 to 2008, and then Lionel Messi took over from 2008 to 2021. So Messi wore the jersey for about 15 years. Yes, for about 15 years. And then Ansu Fati also came for it in a 2021 season, and then he left it in a 2025, where Lamine Yamal has also taken over. So Lamine Yamal is now the new number 10 for FC Barcelona as well. In other news, now let me move on to the transfers. Victor Osimhen, yes, the Nigerian international, he has sealed his move from Napoli to Galatasaray in Turkey. We know Victor Osimhen went on loan from Napoli to Galatasaray last season, and so this season they've been able to make the deal a permanent one. So they've signed him for a fee of about 75 million euros. But for now, as I speak to you now, they will pay 40 million euros upfront to Napoli, and then they will pay the remaining 35 million euros next year. And then there is also a 10% profit on future purchase. So if a team comes to buy him after his contract has expired in Galatasaray, Napoli is going to get a 10% on any amount that will be used to buy Victor Osimhen. And also, he cannot be sold to any other Italian club until 2 years' time. So for the next 2 years, Osimhen can never be sold to any other Italian club. These are some of the terms and conditions in the contract that he signed with Galatasaray in Turkey. So you can have that information as well. And then Barcelona is also still in the market. So they've been able to secure the signing of Marcus Rashford from Manchester United on a loan deal. So it is a 6 months loan. So after the loan deal, Barcelona has the chance to buy him on a permanent basis for 14 million euros. And so, sorry, 30 million euros. Yes. So 30 million euros in June and next year. So he's going to play for the next 6 months, sorry, for the next 1 year. And so in June next year, Barca has the option to buy him for 30 million euros. But for now, Barcelona will pay an upfront fee of 14 million euros to to Manchester United. And then also, Barcelona will cover his entire salary, 325,000 euros a week. That is the money that Rashford is going to take. Mind you that he took a 15% pay cut from Manchester United. And so Rashford has become the first English player to play for Barcelona since Gary Lineker signed for Barcelona in 1986. So as I speak to you now, Rashford has become, I would say, the second player to play for FC Barcelona since Gary Lineker signed for Barcelona in 1986. Yes. In other news as well, Liverpool have also secured the signing of Hugo Ekitike from Frankfurt for a transfer fee of 90 million euros. Hugo Ekitike has also joined Liverpool from Frankfurt. So the fee could potentially rise to 95 million euros. Yes, and so he's going to sign a 6-year deal with Liverpool, his contract will end in June 2031. And so the new striker for Ancelotti is Hugo Ekitike. So as I said, Liverpool have been making some moves during the summer transfer. They really want to defend their title in the upcoming season. So talking about Frankfurt and some of the players that they've sold this summer. Remember, they didn't buy, like, they've sold players like Randall Colomwani, Hugo Ekitike, as I just spoke about, and then Omar Mamouche as well. So all these 3 players, they didn't pay a dime for them. They were their own players, and then they sold these players. So it is only Hugo Ekitike that they bought him for 16.5 million euros. For the likes of Omar Mamouche and then Randall Colomwani, they didn't buy them because they were their own players. Now, they sold Colomwani for 85 million euros to Paris Saint-Germain. They sold Omar Mamouche for 75 million euros to Manchester City. And then they have just sold Hugo Ekitike to Liverpool for 95 million euros. So they've made like 255 million euros from selling these 3 top stars or these young players. That is Frankfurt for you. They've made quite some huge amount of money from selling these 3 young players. So that is just that about Frankfurt. And then the transfer of Hugo Ekitike to Liverpool as well. And then moving on to some other stories too, Atletico Madrid and Saúl Ñíguez have reached an agreement and they have terminated his contract after spending 17 and won 6 trophies. Yeah, so now he's set to join Trabzonspor in the Turkish Super League. That is Saúl Ñíguez. So he spent 17 years at Atletico Madrid. So he started playing Atletico Madrid since he was around 13 years. Yes, now he's 30 years, so he's leaving the club to join Trabzonspor in Turkey. Now let me move on to Real Madrid. So Real Madrid, on the other hand, have also chosen their new captains for the club. There are 4 new captains. So we have right now, Dani Carvajal is the first captain for the team. He'll be followed by the second deputy is Fede Valverde, and then we have Vinicius Junior as the 3rd deputy captain, and then we have Thibaut Courtois as the 4th captain for Real Madrid. So going forward next season, these are going to be the new captains for Real Madrid as well. Now, before I end, I want to talk about the Black Queens as well, because they are performing so well in the women's AFCON. The Black Queens are performing so well in the women's AFCON. Mind you, the Black Queens have never won the women's AFCON before. Yes, they have never won the women's AFCON before. Though they've been in the finals 3 times. 1998, they were at the finals, they lost to Nigeria. 2002, they lost to Nigeria. And then 2006, they also lost to Nigeria. So all the 3 finals, they've lost to Nigeria. And then they got a bronze medal in 2016. So this is I would say the closest that they have come so far in the women's AFCON. Now, in this year's AFCON, they've been able to reach the semi-final stage after beating Algeria on penalties, 4-2 on penalties. Our goalkeeper did so well by saving 2 penalties on that particular night, and then our players were able to, all the 4 players who played the penalty scored their penalty shootout. And so the Black Queens are now in the semi-final stage of this year's women's AFCON as well. Now, there are some other matches that also happened that particular week. Nigeria won their game against Zambia by 5-0. And then Morocco also scored Mali by 3-1. Then Ghana won 4-2 on penalties against Algeria. South Africa also won 4-2 on penalties against Senegal. And so, as I speak to you now, the Black Queens will face Morocco, that is the host nation, in a semi-final stage on Tuesday. And then Nigeria also face South Africa. We are going to have quite some beautiful games to watch because the Nigerians are playing so well. The South Africans are also playing so. We wish the Black Queens all the very good of luck. They should qualify and reach the final stage. Now, as I speak to you now, they've been able to secure $300,000 for reaching the semi-final. So now we have only 4 teams. So the 4th place team will get $300,000. So even if the Black Queens don't win the trophy, they are going to get $300,000 secured. Then the 3rd place team will earn $350,000. Then the 2nd place team will earn $500,000. And then the overall winner will get $1 million cash prize for winning this year's women's AFCON. And so on Tuesday, the Black Queens will face Morocco at 7 p.m. Ghana time. We all know that Nigeria, they are the ones leading when it comes to the women's AFCON trophies. They've won it 9 times. Yes, they've won it 9 times. And so you can see that the Nigerian team is very solid. We have a solid team. And then the South Africans are the defending champions. So they're looking forward to defend the women's AFCON as well. So these are some of the issues that I want to bring to your attention on this particular channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like our video, and also share our video. My name is General. I'll see you in our next episode. I'm out.